Hey everybody, it's Rod from PhotoFair with another video on cameras and lenses and photo stuff. And I have just gone absolutely apeshit crazy lately buying cool stuff, both online and at the recent PhotoFair on May 5th down in Newark, California. So much cool stuff. I was gonna do, as I told you guys in the last video, I'm reaching around, fumbling around about the IRIX 11mm full frame wide angle lens for EOS, but I'm not going to do that today. All right? No, I'm not, because I just got other stuff that's cool. Not that that lens isn't cool, because it is, but I bought this Carl Zeiss 180 f2.8. Oh, very nice. I got to do a review of that, but not today. I know, the coolness just keeps piling on. I found this at PhotoFair, a 135 f1.8. Are you kidding me? Now this one's in Minolta MD mount, so I had to order a special mount for EOS because the flange distance on Minolta is 43.5 millimeters and Canon is 44. So that half millimeter won't give me infinity focus, but I can get really, really close. So I ordered that. In the meantime, I'm using it on my EOS M. So I want to do a video on that, but not today. Why? Because there's just so much cool stuff. I got some cool projector lenses, including this Bell & Howell, made in the USA. You don't see that every day in photography. Multi-coated 50mm 1.2. This will work on my little EOS camera. It's actually for a 16mm projector, so it won't cover full frame. The effects I get with this are so cool. I got to do a video on that, but not today. I also bought from my good buddy Ashley from Oklahoma at the PhotoFair this really cool adapted for the EOS M, also like a 16mm kind of projector lens or something, movie camera lens, 50mm 1.4. It's got this weird triangular shaped diaphragm. It makes really cool bokeh effects, really cool. But guess what? Not going to talk about that either. Got this super cool bellows. This thing's got full view camera style adjustments. It's in T-mount. It came with this 150 lens on it that's got tons of coverage, probably covers 6x9. But I'm using it with my APS-C camera. I even use it a little bit with my 5D Mark II. I can do full view camera movements on this thing. It's awesome, but guess what? I'm not even talking about that today. PhotoFair is so cool. You can get so much cool stuff. It's not even funny. No, I wanted to do something vintage today. I've been in a vintage mood, so I thought I would talk about my Kodak Signet 35. I love this camera. I just bought it just because I thought it was cool looking. And it is cool looking. I mean, look at that thing. Look at that. Art Deco design. Yeah, I'll get that really close to the lens. See if it'll focus. There it is. Look at that. Kind of just sort of subtle. You know, Art Deco was already fading in popularity in the 1950s when they introduced this camera, but some of those elements were still around. I love Art Deco. I'm kind of a freak for it. And I just love the way this little camera looks. And you know, you can buy these things for like 20, 30, 40 bucks. I think I paid $40 for this at Blue Moon Camera in Portland. That's where I got this. I've had it for quite a while. I just saw it sitting there on their shelf and I went, oh, I got to have me some of that. Didn't even think it might be a good shooter. I, of course, loaded up a roll of HP5 in there and shot some film through it. Probably should have loaded Kodak, like T-Max or something, you know. Whatever. I always shoot HP5. So what I like about this camera is it does have an Ektar lens. And Kodak's Ektar lenses are very sharp, and they will challenge the Germans. And this is no exception. And in fact, in Kodak's own literature about this camera, they said that this was a superior lens to the Schneider lenses they were using in their folding retina cameras. So, and those Schneider lenses were pretty respectable. I put it to the film test, and yeah, it is real sharp when I got sharp focus. So take a look. Here's a picture I took of my son's Mustang with this camera last summer. It's pretty decent shot. I just handheld it, snapped it in the driveway, just horsing around. So I think it's a pretty cool camera. I just love the way it looks, and it's real small. You can see me holding the camera here. It's tiny. Now, a couple of things about this camera. It is a rangefinder camera, guys. So you look through this teeny weeny little itty bitty little thing here, viewfinder, and it's hard to see. And it's got this kind of triangular shaped alignment for the focus instead of the more traditional circle or rectangle. So you take, there's two little kind of triangles and you bring the two triangles together. I think the triangles are really cool. I don't know, it's just, it's a little different. I think it's really cool. The problem is that it's a peephole viewfinder to start. This camera's 65 years old. So the problem with that is it's a little dirty in there. I'm going to probably have to get this thing cleaned up. It's kind of hard really to line those things up. But when you achieve sharp focus with this camera, it's sharp at 3.5 wide open. It's sharp at 4, 5, 6. It's a great lens. It's a truly great lens. It's a 44 millimeter f3.5 Ektar design. And Kodak's Ektar designs are well known for being extremely sharp. Now, a couple of things about this camera. It is 35 millimeter, and it's the normal 24 by 36 format. It has a fairly crude winding system. It doesn't automatically stop, so you've got a little counter you got to follow there. It's a mechanical counter, so you have to reset it after each roll. But loading it is pretty easy. You just gotta, you got a little deal here that you lift up on, and it just kind of comes off the back, just kind of separates like that. So inside, traditional spool right there, pretty normal. Load the cartridge over here, carry it across, find a little slot, and advance the film like so. So pretty easy there. Basically, you've got your aperture on this little dial right there, and you can go from 3.5 down to f22, I think. No, 6, yeah, 22. And you've only got 4 shutter speeds, which kind of sucks. You've got bulb, and then you do have 25th, 50th, 100th, and 300th of a second. So, yeah, you don't have a full range of speeds there. But again, I'm shooting HP5 in this thing, and I really don't get into too many lighting situations, in daytime, whether it's overcast or sunny or whatever, that I can't shoot the camera. But I mean, just look at this thing. I mean, it's fantastic. I love this camera. It's got the little guide on the back, shooting guide, old school. I mean, it's just a cool camera, and it's a camera that will actually make a good picture. If you decide to buy one of these things, you'll find them in various levels of condition from anywhere from 20 to 50 bucks. If it's clouded up inside the viewfinder, you can have an old school technician out there that can fix this, clean that up for you, okay? And it's a simple rangefinder system. It can even be aligned. You'll also find that there are some rare versions of this camera that were made for the United States military. The Air Force and the Army both had cameras. I believe the Air Force model was black and the Army model was green, classic Army green. I might have that backwards, but I don't think I do. These were going to get a lot more money because they were more limited production, and I think a lot of the cameras probably got, banged up or destroyed or whatever over the years. But those are, $400, $500, $600, $700, $1,000, depending on how clean they are. So if you're into the real collectible value, yeah, you probably, you're going to pay some big bucks for those. They made millions of these, not quite as many as the Argus C3, but there were a lot of these made, and so they're readily available. It was a good quality camera back in the 1950s, and it's a good quality little camera today. 44 millimeter is just a little wider than a typical 50 on 35. It's a very versatile focal length if you like that kind of standard range. And again, I will say, if you achieve good focus on this, which is probably the hardest thing to do with this camera, is to line that, again, because of the tiny peephole finder. But if you get that subject lined up and you get a sharp shot, it is razor sharp, and you can blow it up and look at the pixels. It's that good. It really is. Is it as good as a modern Canon L-series lens or top-end Zeiss? No. It's not, okay? But it's as sharp as anything that was made in the 50s. It really is. And I've owned, Canon and Leica and Zeiss from the 50s, and this is a great lens. So fun little camera, and I figured I'd kind of do a video on something fun and inexpensive today. And all that other stuff I showed you at the beginning of the video is now on my to-do list for future videos. So, PhotoFair. It was awesome on May 5th. Thank you, everybody who came. It was a successful show. The next show is in Portland, Oregon, the 3rd annual Rose City Photo Fair. That's going to be at the Jackson Armory, and that's on September the 29th. Got plenty of time to plan for that. Portland is beautiful in late September. And then after that, we'll have one on November the 10th at the Newark Pavilion for the fall Photo Fair. And I already have on the website the complete 2019 schedule. All the Newark dates are confirmed, and the Portland 2019 date will probably be confirmed a little later in the year. So that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this little short video on the Signet. Go get one. It's a cool camera. If not for anything else, just look at it. I mean, how can you say no to that camera? Look at that thing. It's gorgeous. It's fantastic. See you next time.